By golly, it's amazing. It sounds like something you'd hear on the radio.
Presenting the transcription feature.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson.
It's 8:30 New York time. Time to wake up, America, and stump the expert.
From Hollywood, it's time now for Johnny Dollar.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve.
And now meet Dick Calmer as Boston Blackie.
It's the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show, presented transcribed by the makers of Rexall Drug Products.
And now it's time to meet the men from the ministry.
The Armed Forces Radio and Television Service presents the Bob Hope Show with Les Brown and his band of renown. And yours truly, Bill Goodwin. And now here he is, Bob Hope.
Greetings, I'm Kevin Lauderdale. We're starting off with another comedy episode of The Great Gildersleeve. I only have a couple of notes for this one. Mostly just want to point out how perfectly structured a classical farce this is. I could just see them doing this as an episode of, say, Frasier back in the day. Just note that The Thin Man was originally a novel by Dashiell Hammett and later a film and then a series of films starring William Powell and Myrna Loy as amateur detectives. Likewise, Ellery Queen is a fictional character who starred in his own series of novels, movies, a TV show. Like Jessica Fletcher on Murder, She Wrote, in Queen's universe, he's a mystery writer who gets caught up in real mysteries. From June 21st, 1942, The Great Gildersleeve, Father's Day Chair.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. The Kraft Cheese Company, who also bring you Bing Crosby every Thursday night, present each week at this time Harold Peary as The Great Gildersleeve, written by Leonard L. Levinson. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, let me pass along an economy tip to you housewives. You're trying to hold down the cost of your dinner main dishes. Well, you know macaroni and cheese is a fine, thrifty main dish. But do you know this? With the product called Kraft Dinner, you can make grand macaroni and cheese thriftily and make it in just 7 minutes cooking time. You see, every package of thrifty Kraft Dinner contains a special quick-cooking macaroni. Also, some Kraft Grated, which lets you sprinkle the cheese goodness through and through the fluffy macaroni. In a jiffy, you have a delicious, economical main dish. When you're in the food store, it's smart to buy several packages of Kraft Dinner, for the family will want Kraft Dinner macaroni and cheese often. Tomorrow, ask for Kraft Dinner. And now let's join our friend, the Great Gildersleeve, who's waded through his morning paper and his morning milk and is now struggling through his morning mail.
Bills, nothing but bills. Well, here's a postcard. It says, be thin as a leaf by boiling your beef.
From some dietetic advisor?
No, Marjorie, it's from the Sultan's Delight Turkish Baths. Well, a letter from the manager of my old rubber plant, the Gildersleeve Girdle Works. What do you know? It's been converted into a factory to repair barrage balloons.
Gee, that certainly is a big change, isn't it, Uncle?
Oh, not much, Leroy. After all, they're still putting blimps into shape again. Or am I stretching things a little?
What does he write, Uncle Moy?
He says they've made the mistake of inflating a big balloon inside the factory.
Jeepers, did it cause any trouble?
I'll say it simply raised the roof. Oh, here's what I've been waiting for. It's from the State War Savings Administrator. The pins and the stickers I sent for. Here are your pins, children.
Oh, this is cute. Yeah, what's it for, Unc?
Well, I've been investing part of the income from your estate in war bonds and doing the same with my income. Now, we're all full-fledged members of the 10% Club.
The 10% club? What kind of a club is that?
Leroy, it's the club that's going to help give the Axis a beating. Look, they sent us stickers to put up in our front window, too.
Oh, yes. We're buying at least 10%. Uncle Mort, you have 2 stickers.
Sure. I forgot to tell you, we're investing 20%.
Well, this tin is certainly what the well-dressed American will wear this summer.
Gee, Unc, you've got one left over. Can I have it for my pajamas at night?
Yeah. No, Leroy, that one belongs to Bertie. Her 10% is deducted out of her paycheck each month. Oh, Bertie!
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve. You want a spot of black coffee?
No, Bertie. I've got a spot of red, white, and blue for you. Here's your 10% club pin.
Well, thank you, sir.
Don't thank me. Thank Uncle Sam. Or rather, Uncle Sam thanks you.
No need to do that. I'd like to be over there playing the Stars and Stripes Forever on that Hitler's head with a skillet.
Yeah.
But if I can, I'm going to use some of my dough for bomb dumplings to go with his cooked goose.
That's the right spirit, Bertie. As I said to Judge Hooker, oh, my goodness, I'm late for the office. Where's my hat?
Under your arm, Unc.
Oh, I see. Then where'd I put my briefcase?
On your head.
Oh! Hey, goodbye, everybody. Bertie, don't forget to take this umbrella stand out of the hall, because someday somebody's liable to trip over it. So long.
Oh, poor Uncle Mort. You better remove that stand, Bertie. We wouldn't want him to hurt himself.
No, at least not until after Father's Day.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, gee, we bought him a super-duper present on account of he's been just like a father to us.
Leroy, that was to be a surprise.
Oh, I forgot. Now, Bertie, you gotta promise you won't breathe a word about the present for the present.
Well, how can I when I don't know what it is?
Well, it's just what he's been wanting. A great big easy chair.
Yes, sir, a green leather club chair.
Oh, Marge, now you've given it away. Bertie, you gotta keep this in confidence.
Oh, don't you worry. I'm the biggest confidence woman you ever seen.
Hello, stranger.
Oh, Schlepperman.
Welcome to Schlepperman's Overstuffed Furniture Store. And is this store overstuffed with furniture?
Well, Sam, how are you?
Physically, I'm in the pink. Financially, I'm even more so. I'm in the red. What can I do for you if I'm not being too continental?
Oh, really nothing. I just thought I'd drop in and browse around.
Oh, go right ahead. Everybody's doing it. Business has been very browsy lately. And if you don't see what you want, just remember, can I help it if my stock is monotonous?
I saw a nice display of leather club chairs in the window. That's why I came in, Sam. I was sort of daydreaming, with Father's Day on Sunday. Wouldn't it be nice if I were a father?
That's a little short notice. I don't think you can make it.
Yeah, I know that, Slep. Marjorie and Leroy are fine children, but isn't it too bad I haven't any children of my own to buy me one of those chairs? I suppose your kids are pretty good to you.
Oh, sure. All 8 of them. They're so good to me on Father's Day that I'm broke for the rest of the month.
You mean they buy you a present and then charge it to you?
Oh, no. They borrow the money from me beforehand. Look, Guilty, if you had kids, they'd do the same thing. So why don't you pretend you have a son and that you're him and he wants to buy you a nice chair? Go on. Don't be stingy with the boy.
Now, don't you go to work on me, Schlepperman. I already have a soft spot for that brown leather club chair.
Yes, and the vice versa.
What do you mean?
That chair has a soft spot for you. It was just made for you. Look, extra wide seat, big soft cushion, heavy legs.
Are you describing the chair?
I'm not so foolish I should insult a customer. Go on, sit in it once. It's free.
Yeah, all right, Sam. Yeah, it certainly looks cozy. Yeah. This is like floating in the ocean, only not so wet. How much do you want for this chair?
$67.50, and that's my rocky bottom price.
But, Sam, this chair hasn't got a rocky bottom.
You got me. $65.
$55.
Oh, no. You can have one of the red ones or a green one for $55. But the brown one costs me more.
Why is that?
The manufacturer has a whim.
Yeah. But I don't like green or red chairs. They remind me of traffic signals, and that makes me mad.
Okay, Guilty old pal. I'll let you have the brown one for $60.
Yeah, $60, eh? All right. Yeah, send it up to my house tomorrow. If I'm out, say, I just remembered. There's a chair exactly like this one in the window for $60.
Sure, Guilty. 60 is the ceiling price. And how can I cover my overhead if I don't hit the ceiling?
You got me. Hello, Judge Hooker.
This is my sister, Amelia. Amelia, this is Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve.
Oh, I'm glad to know you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, this is a pleasure indeed, Miss Hooker. I'm quite surprised to see how attractive your sister is, Judge. The way you always talked, I thought she was...
By the way, Gildersleeve, glad I ran into you today. I've been meaning to find out when you intend returning that umbrella I loaned you around Christmas time.
Yeah, just as soon as you return that copy of No by George Waite.
I never borrowed your copy of No by George Waite.
I remember now. It wasn't a book. It was an umbrella you borrowed for me, long after I returned yours.
I borrowed one from you? You're full of balloon juice.
Oh, now, Horace, I'm sure you're mistaken.
You keep out of this, Amelia.
Yes, you keep... Hooker, don't talk that way to your sister.
She's my sister. I'll talk to her any way I please.
Not when there's a gentleman around.
Maybe not, but until one comes along, I'll talk to her any way I please.
Are you hinting that I'm no gentleman?
I'm hinting that you're a big fat fool.
Judge, now you're hinting below the belt. Really, Miss Amelia, I never expected you to be so attractive with such an insignificant...
And stop making goo-goo eyes at her.
Well, I'm not making goo-goo eyes at her. That's just the victimatura in me coming out. And am I glad to get rid of it? Hey, goodbye, Miss Amelia. I hope I see you in better company the next time.
You better return my umbrella, you deadbeat.
Oh, quiet, Horace. My goodness, let that nice Mr. Gildersleeve keep it. You've got 2 umbrellas in the closet downstairs.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. One with a gold handle and the other with a broken rib.
Oh, great Scott.
Well, what's wrong?
That broken one is Gildersleeve's, and the gold-handled one is the one I loaned him.
Well, Horace Hooker, shame on you. Now, you must do something to make up for the way you've insulted Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, maybe I'll buy him something for his birthday. It's the 21st.
The 21st? Well, that's Sunday.
Okay, then I'll send him a postal card, special delivery.
You'll do nothing of the sort. Now, you come with me.
Where are you going?
Over to Obler's department store to buy Mr. Gildersleeve a birthday present. I saw the most comfy red leather club chair in the window this morning.
Marge. Hello, Leroy.
Hiya, Bertie. Uncle Mort home yet?
No, but his chair is.
Oh, dear. The salesman at Phelps and Fowler's promised they wouldn't deliver it until tomorrow morning. Well, let's hide it someplace till then. How about your room, Bertie?
My room? Why, it's so small I have to do my setting up exercises sitting down. Even have to open the window to throw my chest out.
Well, let's see the chair. Oh, that's not the right one. No, this one's brown. And we bought a green one. Oh, jiggers, Uncle Morris, dear, what'll we do?
I'll sit down on a chair, and you children sit on me, and that'll hide it.
Is anybody at home? Well, don't let it answer if you're not. Oh, there you are. Oh, hello, Dottie. We thought you were Uncle Mort.
Oh, now, how could you make a mistake like that? I don't look anything like your Uncle Mort, even in these slacks. Or do I? Well, look at the pretty chair.
We bought it for Uncle Mort for Father's Day, and it came a day too soon, and it's the wrong color. I'm just petrified that he'll come home any minute and find it.
Well, then look, why don't you bring it over to my house and keep it there until you can change it?
Oh, well, thank you, Dottie. I'll phone Phelps and Fowler from there and ask them to bring the green one. Come on, Leroy, let's take it out the black stairs.
That must be your uncle now. Now, you folks hurry. I'm coming. Save electricity.
How do? I'm from Phelps and Fowler. I got a green leather chair for Mr. Gildersleeve.
Man, that's service. Sit it right here in the hallway.
Okay. Will you sign for it, please?
Can I just initial it?
Certainly.
All right. BLC. That stands for Bertie Lee Coggins. I better write that underneath. Now, you go over to the Dobson's house next door and pick up that brown chair that was brought over there by mistake.
Well, this is the first I've ever heard of it.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Oh, good afternoon, Bertie.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. Excuse me a moment. I'm just going to show this gentleman where the Dobsons live. Just walk this way, mister.
Sure.
He couldn't walk the way Bertie does to save his life. Now, what's this blocking it? Why, it's my chair. Oh, that Schlepperman. I told him I didn't want a green chair. Wait till I get hold of him. Of all the stupid mistakes, sending me a green chair when I distinctly said hello. Is this Schlepperman?
It ain't Joe Lewis.
Sam, this is Gildersleeve. You know that brown chair you sold me?
Yes?
I just arrived home and found it here, and it's green.
There must be some mistake.
Yeah, I'll say, and you better come right over and correct it.
Okay, guilty old friend. I'll be there in 3/6 of a jiffy. But I can't understand it. That chair is not supposed to turn green until next spring.
Yes,
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, let me tell you homemakers how to do a little sleight of hand performance in the kitchen. It's how to make delicious macaroni and cheese with magic speed. You do it with a product called Kraft Dinner. Out of the Kraft Dinner box, take the special Kraft Dinner macaroni and cook it in boiling water not more than 7 minutes. Then drain off the water, add a little butter and milk. And with the Kraft grated that also comes in every Kraft Dinner package, sprinkle the cheese flavor through and through. In as little time as it takes you to make the coffee, you have a grand money-saving main dish ready. Macaroni and cheese that the whole family will go for, cooked in only 7 minutes. It does seem like a sleight of hand trick, doesn't it? Well, get set to do this kitchen magic real soon. Tomorrow, ask your food dealer for Kraft Dinner. Better get several packages because the folks will love Kraft Dinner macaroni and cheese. And now let's return to the Great Gildersleeve, who's taking a short nap, completely unaware of the fact that Mr. Schlepperman has come with another brown chair and taken back the green one that Marjorie and Leroy brought for Father's Day. Right now, his niece and nephew are returning from Dottie's house.
I sure hope Uncle Mort likes the chair we picked out.
Oh, I'm positive that he will. Oh, I can just see him now, stretched out on that comfy green leather, smoking a cigar.
And spilling the ashes all over his vest.
Well, we'll get him an ashtray. One of the...
Leroy! You see what I see? You mean that brown leather chair? We just got through hauling it over to Dottie's. And then I saw the delivery man take it away.
He must have brought it right back here.
Well, let's get it back to Dottie's before Uncle Mort sees it. Oh, that's the front doorbell.
Come on, brother, out through the kitchen.
Bertie, someone's ringing the bell.
If this keeps up, I'm going to be worn down to a shadow, size 42.
Hello there, Bertie.
Hello, Judge Hooker.
I've got a little surprise for Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, what, you two?
Yes, look.
You mean that red leather chair?
Yes. Now, I don't want you to breathe a word about it to a soul.
Who, me? Don't you worry. Alongside of me, the Sphinx is just another Gracie Allen.
Help me carry it in. Now, just put it in the living room for Gildy. And don't tell him who it's from. Let him guess a while.
But, Judge Hooker...
I wonder what he'll say when he finds out.
I know. He'll say, ooh, 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 ooh.
Yes, well, goodbye. And remember, mum's the word.
Yes, sir. Mum's the word for Father's Day. Green chairs, red chairs, brown chairs. Where we going to put them all?
Bertie, did a man bring a chair while I was asleep?
Yes, sir, frequently.
Oh, well, at last. Now I'll... Bertie, am I seeing red?
I don't know, but you sure is turning red.
This is the last straw. I told that Schlepperman to take his green chair back and bring me my brown one. And now it turns out to be red. Give me that telephone. Thank you, Bertie. Do you know anything about this?
Ooh, me? No, sir. I was just an innocent byproduct.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this chair business, right down to the seat of the trouble, or my name isn't...
Schlepperman Studio Fine Furniture. Sam Schlepperman, sole prop speaking.
I'm going to knock the prop out from under his soul. Hello, this is Gildersleeve again.
Hello, Guilty. Did you find your chair?
Yeah, I found the chair all right.
Low, wide, and handsome, ain't it?
Yes, and it's also red.
Who read it?
No, the color is red.
I feel the funniest sensation in my ears, as if you said the color is red.
That's what I did say.
But, Rocky boy, I personally delivered to your house one genuine brown leather chair. Not khaki, not mocha, cocoa, or karaoke, but brown, B-R-O-W, and so forth.
I'm looking at it right now, and it's red.
Say, it's undressed leather. Maybe it's blushing.
This time, I'm going to make sure there's no mistake.
How?
I'm going to load this chair on my rumble seat and bring it over to your store. And if I don't get a brown chair this time, I'm going to buy a war bond with the money and sit on that for the next 10 years.
How come you bringing back this chair?
Lady, when I took this brown chair back to Phelps and Fowler, the boss told me it ain't our chair at all.
Well, then leave it here, mister. Chairs has been floating in and out this house like a flood in a furniture factory.
Okay. Yeah, there you are. Bye.
What we ought to do is give them all to the government. 3 chairs for the red, white, and blue.
Bertie, I just found I'd made a mistake. Mr. Gildersleeve's birthday is July 21st, not June 21st.
Yeah, but you needn't rush back to tell me. I knew that all the time.
No, I came back to get that chair. I'll just take it home and keep it there for a month.
Well, you might as well, 'cause chairs is the mostest thing we got plenty of.
Thanks. Now remember, we're still going to keep it all a secret.
Don't worry, I'll zip my lip.
Thank you. I've got to hurry so I won't run into Gildersleeve. Honey, I guess my eyesight isn't as good as it used to be. I'd swear this leather looks a lot more brown than it does red.
Honest, guilty. I still insist that this is the 3rd brown leather chair I'm bringing into this house today.
But what about the green one and the red one?
They ain't mine. That's why I brought them along in the back of the trunk. You can have them.
No, thanks. All I want is the brown one you sold me. Help me carry it in the house, Sam.
All right. Follow me. I know the way blindfolded already. Just look at that leather. Comes from only the most contented cows.
I suppose the springs are very helpful, too.
Careful going around the umbrella stand, guilty.
Yeah, I know. I've been here before. All right, you can set it down now, Sam.
See? I'm a little tired. And why not? It's pretty hot for July, isn't it?
It's still June, Slepperman.
I know it, but it's even hot for July.
You care for a bottle of root beer?
I don't mind if you'll be so kindly.
Yeah, come on in the kitchen. We'll get it ourselves.
Okay.
Gee, where is everybody today? Seems as though... Oh, for Pete's sake, how did that brown chair get back in here again? I bet that old Dottie hasn't sense enough to leave it over at her house. Well, there's nothing for me to do but drag it back next door again. Next time I'm going to attach an outboard motor to it. Come on, Cher, let's go.
No, Sam. I keep telling you. Those red and green chairs are not mine.
But guilty, what happened to the 2 other brown ones?
I don't know. You can see for yourself that I've only got that... Where's the chair we brought in here just now?
Why ask me? I was in the kitchen with you drinking. Root beer, remember?
That's right. Let's look around. It couldn't have walked off, could it?
I don't know. Maybe it was a discontented cow after all.
By George, I've heard of disappearing beds and fading wallpaper. But this is the first time I've ever seen a vanishing club chair.
I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. And now that I don't see it, I still don't believe it.
It's nowhere around here. There's only one thing to do. Hand me that telephone.
Here you are. What are you going to do?
Call the police.
A good idea. The lowlife who did this should get the chair.
Should. He did. Come on out here, Sam. Here comes a couple of plainclothesmen now.
Just stay where you are, Gus. I won't be long.
Okay, Lieutenant. I'm in no hurry.
Are you from headquarters?
Yes. Which one of you gents is Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve?
A fine detective. Him, of course.
Oh. Well, I'm Lieutenant Miller of the burglary squad. I was on my way to the station when I got a radio call to stop here. What's the trouble?
Great big leather chairs. They do tricks.
Yeah.
Tricks?
What kind of tricks?
They keep changing colors, rushing in and out of here, disappearing into thin air.
Yeah, look, mister, you don't need a detective. You need glasses.
Oh, no. He's had a couple of glasses already. Yeah. But it was only root beer.
No. Lieutenant, you don't understand. If somebody stole a chair right from out under our noses while our backs were turned.
Yeah, it sounds impossible.
Maybe, but this is a case where the truth is more than fiction, stranger.
Can you describe this chair?
Let me see. It had a zoot seat.
With a sack back.
And a stuffed tuft.
And it sold for $60.
Now, come on, cut out the horseplay. What was the style, color, material, and size?
It was a brown leather club chair, the same size as me, a 48 stub.
Well, if someone walked out with it, we shouldn't have any trouble tracing it. Have you asked the neighbors if they saw anything suspicious?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Well, suppose we try a few.
All right, we'll ask the neighbors. Let's start with the Dobsons next door, huh?
Say, guilty, this is exciting. Don't you feel just like the Tin Man? No, I guess you don't.
Do you think we should look for footprints, Lieutenant?
You mean on the sidewalk? What do you think this is, Grauman's Chinese?
My, he's a regular celery queen.
And now remember, be sure you let me do the questioning.
Yeah, all right.
Come on. I haven't all day.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, hello, Dottie. This is Lieutenant Miller from the police department, and Mr. Schlepperman.
From the furniture department. Have a card.
We're investigating a chair which disappeared from our house.
Oh, well, you mean a big brown leather club chair that was delivered there just this afternoon? Well, no, I haven't even heard about it. What does it look like?
Well, it looks like, let me see. It looks exactly like both of those brown chairs in your hallway.
Oh.
All right, young lady. Start talking.
No, Lieutenant, don't get her started talking.
Except one time I kept talking to a streetcar motor and he ran into the end of the line.
Yeah, quiet, please.
I wish they'd ration her gas.
I tell you, I still don't get it.
I tell you, it's this way.
Quiet, please! I can't understand you people when you talk one at a time, let alone like this. Now, who's Marjorie?
That's me.
Now, if you had to buy your uncle something for Father's Day, why didn't you just get him a necktie?
How do you like that? Trying to ruin the furniture business.
But Bertie will tell you that we bought the green chair. Now, won't you, Bertie?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
'Cause I ain't no stool pigeon.
Hey, Uncle, look out the window. Somebody's sneaking up to our house with a brown chair.
Why, George, you're right. There's the peak, Lieutenant. Come on, let's get it.
All right, come on. Stop! Drop that chair or I'll shoot.
Hey, what's the idea? Put down that gun.
Put down that chair first.
Judge Hooker, what are you doing?
Oh, I was trying to keep it a secret, Gildy. I took the wrong chair.
Ah, at last, a confession.
Who's confessing to what? I just made a mistake, that's all.
Yes, Judge, a fatal mistake. When you stole that chair, you dragged yourself off the bench.
You don't understand. I bought you a chair for your birthday.
A likely story. My birthday is a month off, and you're too cheap to return an umbrella, let alone buy me an expensive present. Officer, arrest that man.
If you do, I'll sue you for false arrest, illegal incarceration, malicious persecution, criminal libel, slander, and well, you'll be sorry.
I'm not going to take any chances. Load all the chairs in Schlepperman's truck. I'm going to haul all the evidence and all the witnesses down to headquarters.
Before I go, I insist on phoning the chief of police.
Oh, okay. Come on into the house with me.
The chief of police is his uncle or something. Hey, Schlepperman, did you hear what the lieutenant told us to do?
Sure, it's easy. I've already got the red and green ones on. Also the two brown ones from Miss Dolly's house. All I got to do is lift up the one the judge lifted. Like this. And we're ready to go.
Oh, say, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Huh? Oh, yes. You're Gus, the lieutenant's partner, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. If he's going to take you all down in a squad car, I better take the truck and drive the evidence down to headquarters.
That's an excellent idea. Schlepperman, give the officer your keys.
All right. Be careful with the clutch. It grabs.
I'll watch it.
Well, I'll certainly be glad when we can get this all unraveled. And I can find a seat I can call my own.
You said it, guilty boy. This has been a most hectical day.
Yeah. Oh, well, here comes the lieutenant and Hooker now.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, I just had a little talk with the chief.
And he says for the lieutenant to forget the whole matter.
So all you people get in a huddle and divide up those chairs among you. Say, where's Gus?
You mean your partner? He drove the truck with the chairs down to police headquarters.
My partner? That wasn't my partner. That was Gus Burns, a crook that I was taking to jail.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my truck.
Oh, my chairs.
Oh, my.
But, Lieutenant, what I can't understand is that you letting that chair snatcher sit in that squad car unguarded.
Well, I had him handcuffed to the wheel. I can't imagine how he got away. Did he ask anyone here to give him a key or a file?
No, I said so.
No, sir. The only thing the man asked me for was a hairpin.
Oh! Good night, folks.
Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by William Randall. This is Jim Bannon speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to tune in again next week at the same time for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
These days are a challenge to all you homemakers because it's more important than ever that you serve your families plenty of wholesome, nourishing food, the kind that will keep them strong. And at the same time, it's important to keep within the wartime food budget, too. Well, one answer to that problem is this. Serve your family Parquet margarine, the delicious spread for bread made by Kraft. You see, Parquet margarine is wholesome and nutritious, yet it's mighty economical, too. Parquet is one of the best energy foods you can serve, and every pound contains 9,000 units of important vitamin A. Yes, delicious Parquet margarine is a thrifty source of important food values. So order some tomorrow. Serve it at the table. Use it for cooking, too. Just ask for Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. This program has reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
I don't have any notes for our drama. It's another episode of X-1, the science fiction anthology show. This episode is Chain of Command, one of the more lighthearted ones, from November 21st, 1956.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in 1,000,000 could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, Chain of Command by Stephen R.
This is about George. He's a friend of mine. Lives right here at the Brookside Atomic Laboratory with his family. My name is Charlie Boyle, by the way. I'm a security guard here at the lab. Been here now for, 20 years, I guess. Of course, they don't use the lab anymore. Lots of weeds and things, and, I stick around. There isn't really any place to go. Oh, well, I'm getting away from it after all. This is about George. Some of it I know myself. A lot of it he told me after it was over. It began, it began the morning after George's wife lit into him.
I think, George, the least you could do is complain. After all, are you a mouse or a man?
Clara, what's the point of complaining? It'll just start trouble.
We do live at the laboratory. We have some rights.
The best thing we can do is just stay right where we are.
But it's dangerous.
There's nothing dangerous about it, just so long as we know what we're doing.
I'm not thinking about us. I'm thinking about the children.
The children know where they mustn't go.
George, I will not go on like this without a moment's peace of mind. If you had the slightest concern for my welfare or for the children's, you'd...
All right. I'll go talk to old Charlie, the security guard.
Why not talk directly to the superintendent?
Because of the complications. Now, I promise you I'll explain the situation to Charlie. He knows me. I've talked to him for over a year now.
And he hasn't the slightest influence.
I'll impress the seriousness of the situation on him.
All right, but do it now.
I will.
And be firm.
I'll be as firm as I can.
I was at my desk in the hallway. The place was deserted. I've always worked the night shift, except for my supervisor, Mr. Adams, who was in his office down the hall working late. I remember I was sort of dozing off when I heard George's voice in my ear.
Charles. Charlie.
Hmm?
It's me, George.
Oh, yes, George. Yeah, how are you?
Fine. Can I have a chat with you?
Chat away. I got all night.
Good. It's about the trap.
The trap?
The one outside our door.
Oh, that trap.
Clara, my wife, says it's dangerous.
Well, now,
She'd like it removed.
Removed? Oh, no, George. That can't be done.
Regulations?
Regulations.
Suppose you just removed it without telling anybody.
Oh, they'd fire me, George.
I see. Clara's afraid one of the kids might get hurt.
Oh.
How about taking it up with the supervisor?
Mr. Adams?
Why not?
Well, it never occurred to me.
Why not give it a try?
Oh, I don't know. Mr. Adams doesn't even know you exist.
Maybe it's time he found out.
Well, well, it might get a bit sticky.
Give it a try.
Well,
come on, Charlie. Be a good fellow. Haven't we been buddies for a long time?
Oh, we've been buddies, all right, but, well, when it comes to something like
Will
this...
you try at least? Clara isn't going to let me alone unless something happens.
Okay, George. I'll give it a try. I straightened my tie and I brushed off my uniform real neat and I went into Mr. Adams' office. I could see the light under his door and I hear him on the phone, so I knew he was there.
Edgar? Adams up at Brookside Lab. Uh-huh. How are things in Washington? No, nothing serious. Just want to have a fingerprint check on one of our scientists. Uh-huh. Yeah, number 7X4582. That's right. How's the missus? Good. Now, excuse me a minute, will you? Somebody at the door. Come in. Oh, hello, Charlie. Edgar, can I call you back? Fine. Yeah, what is it, Charlie?
Well, I'd like a word with you, Mr.
Well, look, Charlie, I'm on the phone to Washington. Is it a security matter?
Oh, in a way, Mr. Adams.
Well?
I don't know how to tell you, really.
Well, just tell me.
Well, sir, there's a mouse named George down in room 412 who doesn't want the trap outside his door.
Well, that's just too... What?
A mouse in room 412. He objects to the trap.
Look, Charlie, I'm busy. Is this a joke or something?
Oh, well, I guess maybe it is.
I mean, I like a good joke as well as the next fella, Charlie, but, well, I mean, it's late and I got a lot of work to do. Do you mind?
No, Mr. Adams.
Yeah, well, that's fine. You just get back to your desk, huh?
Okay, Mr. Adams.
And, Charlie,
yes, sir, yes.
Next time one of the mice complains, tell him to come in here and speak to me himself.
Yes, sir.
Edgar Adams here again. I'm sorry. One of the security guards playing a little joke on me. He came in to say one of the mice here at the lab is complaining about the trap outside his door. You got him down Washington, too, huh? Yeah? What do you do about it? Traps, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's the only way, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I went back to my desk. George was there, waiting. I could tell by his expression that he knew the answer before he even asked me.
No soap, huh, Charlie?
No soap, George.
I guess I'll have to tell Clara.
Yeah, I'm sorry, George.
What'd he say?
Well, he said if you've got a complaint, see him yourself.
He said that, huh?
Yep. Of course, I didn't know what was going to happen. George didn't tell me till it was all over. I mean, really all over. And then it was too late for me to do anything. It turned out, though, that Clara, that's George's wife, told him that if he didn't go talk to Mr. Adams, she'd up and leave him. Yeah, leave him and the kids, too. So him and me, we went.
And nothing negative on his record, eh, Edgar? Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, excuse me a minute. Come in. Oh, what is it this time?
Excuse me, Mr. Adams. It's that mouse. He wants to talk to you.
I'll call you back, Edgar. Now, look, Charlie, I mean, this has gone far enough.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What the devil you got in your hand?
Well, this is him, sir. It's the mouse I was telling you about. George. Yeah, George. This is Mr. Adams, the security supervisor.
How do you do?
Huh?
How do you do?
Ventriloquism, huh, Charlie? Pretty good.
Oh, it ain't ventriloquism, Mr. Adams. He talks.
Yeah, sure he does. Well, look, now you had your little joke, and I got a lot of work to do.
I'd like a word with you.
What? That's remarkable. It really... Now, look,
George,
if you don't...
George, suppose I just leave you here and step outside.
That might be best.
Excuse me, Mr. Adams.
No, wait a minute. You can't leave that beast in here.
He won't take much of your time.
But, hold it. Leaving mouse on my desk.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, of course. What?
I said, can you hear me? Some people have trouble.
I'm going out of my mind. It's a hallucination.
No, sir, a mouse.
Listen, what are you?
A mouse. You know, cheese, rodents, all that sort of thing.
Do you mind if I touch you?
Okay, but take it easy. Careful, don't bend up the whiskers.
You're real.
Sure I'm real. Now, listen, about that trap.
The trap?
My wife is driving me goofy. Get it away from our front door, will you?
Your front door, yes. Yes, of course, Are you sure you exist?
I could bite you to prove it.
Never mind.
What about it?
What about what?
The trap.
The trap, yes, of course. Well, I mean, that's a security problem. Look, would you do me a favor?
Depends.
Tell me, how come you talk?
Simple. My ancestors have been around this lab since it was built. We've gotten a lot of gamma radiation. A couple of them were used as an experiment to test radiation endurance. There were surgical operations, grafts of human brain tissue to mouse brain tissue to check the effects of the rays on human brains and so on. You follow me?
Wait a minute. I remember there were some experiments where human brain tissue was placed in a mouse and then exposed.
That's it. Those mice, the ones that survived, were my great-grandparents.
Holy smokes.
So what about the trap? I mean, we're nice, peaceful mice. We don't bother anybody. We don't eat much. We mind our own business.
Wait a minute. You say your great-grandparents were the first of this talking line? I mean, are there many of you?
3 generations, Mac. That's a lot of mice.
Tell me, have you talked to anybody besides me?
Well, I talked to Charlie.
No, I mean besides Charlie.
I tried it with a couple of guys. They wouldn't listen.
These others, what do you call them, your relatives, have they talked to anybody? Tell me.
How should I know? I suppose they've talked to dozens of people.
Where are these people they've talked to?
The mental hospitals are full of them. It's a problem, see. We can talk to kids and, you know, the odd ones, but anybody else, they get scared.
Uh-huh.
So what do I tell Clara about the trap?
Clara?
My wife, Clara.
Oh, well, it's a security problem. I think I'll have to take it up with Washington.
Okay, take it up.
Yeah, I'll dictate a memo first thing in the... No, I won't. They'll think I've flipped.
Okay, I'll tell Clara.
Now, wait a minute. Let me make a phone call. Sooner or later, this thing has got to be dealt with. Edgar, Adams at Brookside. Now, Edgar, old man, we have just encountered a rather unusual security problem here at the plant. Yes. No, nothing like that. Mice. Yes. Talking mice. No, Edgar, it is not a joke. I know we were joking a while ago, but it turns out there are talking mice here. Edgar, listen. Please, Edgar, will you listen? I'll put one of them on the phone. Now, listen, would you... Here, would you just talk, please?
What'll I say?
Just say anything. His name is George.
Hello? This is George. I'm trying to get the authorities to remove the trap from in front of my... What?
Yeah, let me have it, will you? Edgar, listen, I am not kidding, and I have not gone mad. This is on the level. In my office at this moment, there is a mouse who talks. In this top-secret atomic laboratory, there are several hundred such mice, for all I know. Look, Edgar, you don't believe me, and I don't expect you to believe me. No, I don't want a vacation. Good night, Edgar. He doesn't believe me.
We keep running into this all the time.
George, are you really interested in doing something about that trap?
Have you ever met my wife? Oh, of course you haven't.
Wait a minute, I got it. I'm going to call for a top-level security conference at the Pentagon. George, will you come down there with me? Will you? We won't say a word. We'll just appear.
Washington?
First-class accommodations. We'll get you the best suite in town. Do you like cheese?
Do I like cheese? Can you get provolone down there?
Get what?
Provolone.
We'll get it. All the provolone you can eat.
I've never traveled before.
George, you'll love it. You'll love it. Chance to get away from the wife for a while, huh? What do you say, boy? You and me, huh? We'll live it up down there. Look, I know a couple of girls. I seem to recall they had mice in their pantry.
I don't know. I'll have to talk to Clara.
Look, tell her it's the only way to get action on the trap. Make it sound big, you know. You hate to go away from her, but it's for the kids. What do you say, pal, huh?
Well, okay.
Attaboy. Operator, get me chief of security at the Pentagon. Make it fast. This is an emergency.
I wasn't there, but like I say, George told me all about it after it was over. Seems him and Mr. Adams went down to Washington on a morning plane. George got a little plane sick, but he liked flying pretty good anyway. They checked in at the Statler, then went over to the Pentagon.
Order, gentlemen, order. As a chief, I hereby convene the meeting. It's been called as a Priority A emergency session by Mr. Adams, who, as you know, is security chief at our Brookville Atomic Laboratories. Mr. Adams?
Yes, thank you, Chief. Now, gentlemen, it may come as a shock to all of you. It did to me. But I've learned that some 1,200 English-speaking individuals have been operating freely within our top-secret laboratories at Brookville without any security clearance whatsoever.
You did say 1,200?
Actually, sir, 1,207.
Who are these people, sir?
Mice, Chief.
Mice?
Yes, sir, mice. I have one of them here with me. Somewhere. George.
Here.
George. Oh, well, there you are. George, would you just mind stepping to the center of the table?
Right.
Gentlemen, this is George.
How do you do?
Well, this is most remarkable.
George is the result of an experiment conducted some years ago in which bits of human brain tissue were grafted into live mice to test radiation effects.
And there are 1,200 of these inside the lab?
1,207.
Without security clearance?
Without security clearance.
Oh. Well. Sir, Mouse?
Call me George.
George? George, tell me what you know.
My wife wants the trap removed from our front door. She thinks it's dangerous for the children.
Has she been cleared?
Quiet, General.
Well, a major lapse of security.
I'm aware of the lapse, General.
What about the trap?
I refuse to countenance any act that will aid the entrance of more of these spies and saboteurs into the plant.
Who's a spy? I'm a mouse.
Tell me, have you overheard any conferences?
Maybe a few.
Seen any documents?
My kids play in the secret document file. It's the safest place in the lab.
Have you yourself ever seen any papers marked top secret?
Seen them? Heck, I've eaten them.
I believe this calls for some action, gentlemen.
Mr. Adams, if you and this rodent will retire to the next room, I think we'll have a brief caucus.
Yes, sir. George.
Okay.
Yes, sir. See you later, gentlemen.
Listen, what about the provolone?
Never mind.
Well, I think we should try to forget for the moment that these creatures are mice and deal with them as security problems.
Concur.
Now then, the first question is one of loyalty.
I raise a question at this point.
General?
Are these American mice?
Well, I assume that...
Well, but do we know?
You have a point, sir. Perhaps we ought to get immigration in on this.
Immigration? I'd say extermination.
Before we do anything rash, General, I think we ought to learn more about these creatures, who they are, what their habits are, their loyalties, how much they know.
Suppose this George creature won't tell us.
We'll have to use every trick in the book. Now, I would suggest we first try the velvet glove. The full treatment.
George told me about the velvet glove later. He said he didn't really suspect anything at first, what with all the excitement of being in Washington and so on, but after a while he got wind of what they were doing.
Room service. This is Mr. Adams in 712. Will you please send up a pound of
Provolone.
Provolone, please. Cheese. Cheese. Yes, and some more wine. Yes, fine. Right away, please. They'll have some more right away, George.
Can't get enough of this stuff. Really delicious.
George, have a little more wine.
I don't mind if I do. This is the life, all right.
It's a great town, isn't it, George?
Stupendous.
By the way, George, those documents you mentioned eating, do you remember what they said?
Something about nuclear weapons. Listen, Adam, what about those girls you mentioned, the ones who had mice in their pantry?
Oh, yes.
How about giving them a call?
Well, George, a little late, don't you think?
Oh, the night's just beginning.
All right, George, I'll give him a little call. 6. Yeah, if my memory serves. Hello, Gail. My memory serves. Bob Adams. Hi, just down on a quick business trip. How tricks, Gail? No, not a thing. By the way, did you still have mice? Mice. Yeah, but... You exterminated... Oh, I see. No, I don't think I'll have time this trip. I just wanted to call you up, say hello. Yeah, maybe next trip. Fine, my dear. So long.
What'd she say?
Unfortunately, the superintendent has a cat.
I see. Wiped out?
Wiped out.
That's something I want to take up with my congressman before we leave town.
We'll do that, George. George, have another sip of wine.
You won't mind if I do.
That's it. Now then, George, about those documents.
Oh, you stop about documents. I thought we were in town for a good time.
We are.
Well, round up a couple of mice, man, and let's get with it.
Mice, I'll tell you what, George. You wait here. I'll go out and I'll see what I can do. Okay?
Okay, but make it snappy, huh? I'm raring to go.
Next morning, Adams woke George and told him they were scheduled for another conference at the Pentagon.
George, wake up, huh?
Oh, what a head.
Come on, George. We're due at the Pentagon.
Easy. Don't talk so loud. Wow. Where did you get those white mice last night?
Over at the National Research Lab.
Ooh. They must have been feeding those girls wheat germ.
All right, come on, George. Come on. You can sober up in the taxi. Come on.
All right, George, we've been beating around the bush long enough. Who are you?
I've told you, I'm a mouse. My name is George. I live in a hole at the Brookville Atomic Laboratory.
We know all that. We want to know who's behind you.
Nobody's behind me. Listen, you guys don't have to be afraid of me. I'm only a mouse.
It's the perfect fifth column. The ultimate weapon.
Do you realize that you and your family are living inside a secret government installation without any security clearance whatsoever?
I'm willing to be investigated.
How do we know you aren't an agent for a foreign power?
How do we know you aren't an agent for a foreign power?
Preposterous.
It'd be the perfect fifth column.
Gentlemen, I will not remain here to be insulted by this creature.
And I will not be insulted by you, sir. Gentlemen, good day.
No, George, wait, come back.
Where
George,
is he? He went that
George,
way.
wait.
Get him up.
George.
He's going into the wall.
Grab him.
Too late. He's gone.
Well, men, this is it. We'll have to decide on a course of action. We've got to recapture him.
Look, I think the first thing to do is get a cat.
He's too smart for a cat.
Well, something's got to be done.
Something's got to be done.
After all, these creatures have access to every secret file in the country.
Not to mention eavesdropping on our private lives.
The thing that bothers me is, gentlemen, they multiply in another 3 generations. There will be some 12 billion talking mice, 6 times the human population of the Earth.
It's no matter for fooling around. Kill or be killed, gentlemen.
The problem there is how.
We have reason to believe they're concentrated in Brookville. I say evacuate all humans and blow up the plant. Use the H-bomb if necessary.
I'm afraid you're right, General. We must exterminate.
I'll phone Strategic Air Command and alert them. SAC, please. Hello, Bill. This is Ed. Listen, fuel up a couple of big ones. No, nothing serious, but we may want to use them in the near future. Just stand by, that's all.
I'll call chemical warfare, get the best information on exterminating rodents. Hello? Hello? That's funny. It's gone dead. Hello? Hello? Something is wrong here. Sounds almost as if the line had been cut. Adams, get out an alarm for that mouse.
Well, that was only the beginning, of course. Things began to happen pretty fast right after that. You bet your sweet satchel they did.
Well, Adams?
Yeah, I've been talking to Edgar. The FBI has located several hundred field mice, all of them non-talking. No trace of a mouse corresponding to our description of George.
I see.
Team of Secret Servicemen been combing the Pentagon and the White House. We've got 1,500 traps baited with imported provolone in the Senate chambers alone. So far, no luck.
And what about cats?
The American feline fanciers have volunteered 100 Mausers.
Oh, good, good. Any more telephone wires cut?
I'm afraid so, Chief, yes. He managed to gnaw through the private wire from the president's suite to the Pentagon.
Oh, I see. We've got it spliced. What about the top secret file on that new chemical warfare agent? Is there any trace of that?
They found the file, but he managed to chew out the key symbols. I'm afraid it's useless.
Well, keep tracking him down.
Yes,
Sooner
sir.
or later, we'll get him.
Yes, sir. Only one thing,
Well,
sir.
what's that?
I hate to mention it, really.
Well, go on, man.
Well, sir, the damage has appeared in such widespread places recently.
Well, go on.
Well, there must be more than just George. In fact, we're afraid he has reinforcements right here in Washington.
But that's impossible. How?
I don't know how, sir, unless...
Unless what?
Unless... Well, it seems, sir, that there were a couple of female white mice from the National Research Lab.
You mean?
Yes, sir. I'm afraid so, sir.
I guess maybe you know the rest. Within a couple of weeks, every cable, telephone line, power line, every telegraph line in the United States had been cut. Also the wires on every plane, tank, train, and ship. They'd also destroyed every file in the country. That was only a month ago. Well, you can guess what's happened. Most everybody has left this part of the world. In this whole atomic laboratory, I'm the only human. And I'm not so sure I'll be around much longer. Yes, sir? The only woman. Not that they need a security guard, but, well, I'm just used to being here. I wouldn't know where to go.
Charlie.
Why, George. George, is it you?
That's right, Charlie.
Well, you look awful. Where have you been?
Well, I was down in Washington, Charlie, about the traps, remember?
Oh, yeah. That was before all the trouble started, over 2 months ago. Well, what you been doing all this time?
Well, you know, we've been pretty busy protecting ourselves, cutting the lines and stopping transportation and such.
I figured it was the mice done it, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't like it, but it was them or us, so we did it.
Well, how come you look so terrible, though?
Well, we stopped the trains and the planes, you know, so, well, I had to walk back. That's one heck of a walk for a mouse.
Like I said, this is about George.
To have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was an NBC Radio Network production.
That's your old-time radio fix for this week. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Be sure to subscribe to The Chronic Rift on iTunes or visit us frequently at chronicrift.com.
What a voice. What a voice. Simply means ink. A dink-a-doo. A dink-a-dee. Good night, folks. Signing off.
Okay now, tell me about the hash bars.
That's something I bet you never thought you were going to laugh out say. Tell me about the hash bars.
What do you want to know?
Well, hash is legal there, right?
Yeah, it's legal, but it ain't 100% legal. I mean, you can't walk into a restaurant, roll a joint, and start puffing away. You're only supposed to smoke in your home in certain designated places.
Those are hash bars?
Yeah, it breaks down like this. It's legal to buy it, it's legal to own it, and if you're the proprietor of a hash bar, it's legal to sell it. It's legal to carry it, which doesn't really matter, because get a load of this, if the cops stop you, it's illegal for them to search you. Searching you is a right that the cops in Amsterdam don't have.
Whoa, that did it, Brian. I'm frickin' going. That's all there is to it, Narv.
You'll dig it the most, Pinky. But you know what the funniest thing about Europe is?
What?
It's the little differences. A lot of the same we got here, they got there, but they're a little different.
Examples?
Okay. In Amsterdam, you can buy beer in a movie theater.
Oh.
I don't mean in a paper cup either. They give you a glass of beer like in a bar. In Paris, you can buy beer at McDonald's. Also, you know what they call a quarter pounder of cheese in Paris?
Gérard Depardieu? They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese?
No, because they've got the metric system there. They wouldn't know what the frick a quarter pounder is. Saved it for you.
Well, what do they call it?
It's called a Royale with cheese.
Oh, Royale with cheese. What do they call a Big Mac?
Big Mac's a Big Mac, but they call it Le Big Mac.
Oh. Le Big Mac. What do they call a Whopper?
I don't know. I didn't go into a Burger King.